Hey everybody, welcome to Augmented Reality, the podcast where we take a critical and humorous look at gaming, technology, and culture. This podcast is presented by the Triple S League. Visit us on YouTube for game guides, reviews, comedy videos, music videos, and tons of other gaming content. My name is Asheninity. I'm here as always with Sibsidian. So big news in gaming this week. There's a new word for early access now that's going to become commonplace. I don't know if you heard about this.
Sucker, right?
No, no. You know what? You're on the right track though. It's called Release Day.
Release Day.
On that note, I've had an idea. I've been inspired. I had this idea for a brand new type of car company that I am going to get working on right away. And I figured with this, just watching the success of the gaming industry, this business model could probably be applied to other areas. So I'm going to start this car company, okay? And it's just going to be huge. So it starts when you pre-order the car.
Okay.
Months or even a couple of years before it's made. But I mean, we're going to show you videos of it and pictures of what it's going to look like, right? And people are just going to go nuts. And so they're going to pre-order their car. Like in 2018, they're going to be pre-ordering the 2020 Triple S cars, okay?
Nice, okay.
All right, so
I'm with you so far.
We're also going to really streamline the process of making the vehicles by cutting out, unnecessary things like quality assurance and, research and development.
What about testing? Are we gonna
back
testing?
That's like quality assurance. Like,
okay.
Yeah, so testing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, these are good things, but we want to deliver a quality product at an affordable price. Something has to, something's got to give somewhere.
Well, we can't worry about impact, resistance or, stability or fuel economy or.
There's the thing. When people find a problem or like a bug in their car, they'll send us bug reports, and we'll collect all of this data. Like, I tried to make a sharp turn and flipped onto my roof. Okay, well, that's a problem, And we at Triple S Cars, we are listening, and we respect your need to have a quality car that won't kill you and your loved ones. So if we start getting reports in, that cars are randomly bursting into flames when they hit 77 miles per hour, we will definitely be making a note of it, and we will fix it in a patch. And that's phase 3. When people are having problems with their cars, we will send out patches. Okay, we will send out patches that you can, they'll come in the mail, and you can take them. They'll be different depending on whatever the issue is. You'll just take the part, pop open your hood, and slap it right on there, and that'll fix your problem.
The Tesla updates itself, via Wi-Fi. So. Oh
yeah. Well, ours will be self-driving too.
If you put it on a hill and release the brake, that kind of self-driving.
You're on to me. Yes, no guarantee it's going to actually get you where you want it to go, but it will drive on its own.
Okay. So you're either referencing Kickstarter programs, or you're perhaps referencing maybe the gaming industry as a whole. Am I getting close?
Yeah, I was going with gaming industry, but crowdfunding. Why didn't I think of that? Okay. Starting Kickstarter right now. Everyone's going to rush over there and invest. I'm sure they're just going to be scrambling to get in on this. This is a new breakthrough in car technology, folks. The old model of delivering you a quality product that actually worked when you drove it off the lot, those days are gone. That's not how it works anymore.
Okay, I'm having a little bit of an issue trying to figure out why in any other industry, doing what, not every title, but doing what the vast majority of titles have been doing in the last few months. It's not last few months, the last few years, almost a decade now. This is getting like online patches, day one patches, all this kind of stuff has just kind of left us with some really terrible games. Like, I don't understand how some of these companies are still floating. Well, some of them aren't. You look at a few of them. I've been hearing some fun stories coming out of was it Line Maker? The guys who made Fable. That company's gone now, buried.
What else did they make? Fable was quite a popular game, was it not?
like maybe one of them once upon a time.
Oh, okay.
It kept getting worse as the years went on. The promises kept getting bigger, and I think that's part of the problem. Is like if they had just like shut up and not promised anything, like not a damn thing, and then released the game, and I think it would have done a lot better. But sometimes the promises were like, "Hey, we're going to be able to do this and this and this, and it's all awesome," and then just you wait. Just you wait, it's going to be so awesome. And then day 100 rolls around in your campaign, and you get 100 days left, and then, oh, wait, no, suddenly everybody's dead. Sorry. I don't know what happened there. Just everybody's now dead. Spoiler alert for a game that nobody plays anymore.
Yeah. Well, I think you have a point. There's so much hype for these new games so far in advance that it really... There's two problems. One is that, I mean, if something's overhyped, inevitably there's people that are going to be disappointed because their expectations were too high. But then also, then you kind of have to deliver on that. And if you don't, it's very sucky for you. It just doesn't reflect well on you or on your product. Whereas without the huge, grandiose promises, perhaps nobody would have said a word and been like, yeah, this is an okay game. As opposed to, this was supposed to be the best game ever, and it turned out to be just okay.
Yeah. No, the hype train and the way that people try and market off of the hype train, it has definitely been undergoing some slight changes in the last few years. So it's getting there, but there needs to be some more pressure applied to a lot of companies and a lot of it's mainly the publishers. The game companies, I mean, these studios, they make good games. They just don't often get a chance to complete them. So that's a little bit of the designer not being able to do what they, everything that they've, fully encompassed, or not knowing their own limits, or, knowing their limits, setting a goal, and then suddenly the publisher walking in and saying, hey guys, basically we're going to cut you, we're going to cut your schedule down by 8 months because our analyst has now told us, if we launch the game in this month instead of that month for this peak instead of that peak, that we're going to sell a ton more copies. So, hey, push the game out 8 months early. And it's like, or it's like, hey, we just bought a new game. It's coming out, and we want it to come out, and we want it to compete with this other big game, Battleborn, Battleborn, and we just want you to like throw the game out there because it'll totally compete with something that's being worked on for a whole hell of a lot longer by a way bigger team that has way more original ideas and way more original content.
Yeah, these people are addicted. They'll play whatever crap we shove down their throats.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
It is. The sad thing is, like, we notice when a product has been shipped too early.
Yeah, we notice.
Andromeda was not ready. It was not ready. Of course, it's still making. It's doing very well in it's like the top game in sales, or at least it was.
Yeah.
But compared to Mass Effect 3, it's not performing as well as Mass Effect 3 did during its release period.
Yeah. Well, and there are reasons for it, and there are some. There were some really silly decisions made, but I mean, hey, they're changing this. So let's talk about the changes that are coming, because
this is patch. It was just announced recently. Patch 1.05 is coming out. That's going to be fixing a lot of problems. A lot of it is stuff we talked about on last week's podcast. So
patch is actually supposed to come out on possibly Thursday, which I think is when this podcast will be hitting the wire. So it could be out as of today. Naturally, I haven't had a chance to test it yet, but the changes, the first level stuff is good, and then their long range plans are also really, really good. One of their short range plans and long range plans is to shore up the animation. So there's going to be a lot of fixes to things that people were making really big deals about and kind of wrongly attacking or crapping on the wrong side of the company.
Yeah, and we've even learned a little more information since last week, and it was the animations were outsourced. I mean, it sounds like it was kind of a business decision, like, oh, we can save a bunch of money if we outsource the animation.
Yeah, or they didn't have the staff to run it. And again, that's one of those things where it's like, well, either you need to scale back some of what you're doing to, move staff around to cover areas that need shoring up, or you need to, get a better handle on how you're running things. So, yeah, so the animations are going to be fixed. Not necessarily fixed the way that some people want them to be fixed, but they're going to be,
hopefully,
I feel, greatly improved.
Does that mean no more breakdancing rider?
Let's you're
when you're
running zigzags.
If you run back and forth, left and right.
So the other thing that they're fixing is just some like duh moments, like the rate at which things reflect off of the Asari and human eyes, which create kind of like this dead stare.
Oh, see, thing. I thought all the species had just evolved to look like dead sacks of mucus, as opposed to zombies looking like living things.
So yeah, a lot of these changes are things that they can fix in post, but a lot of these changes were or should have been handled from the get-go, or should have been handled in the QA level. Like, somebody should have made some pretty obvious.
If I was a QA tester on this game, I would have a page full of things. I had a funny one today. Conversation with Cora aboard the Tempest. Conversation's done. I turn around. There's another Cora standing there.
Yeah.
2 Coras. And so I go to talk to the other one. The first one teleports right to where the other one's standing. And now I've got 2 Coras standing inside of one another. One of them's facing away working.
Sounds like a really kinky.
It did get a little kinky, because as soon as the conversation was done, the second Cora turned around, and it totally looked like she was spooning her clone, just standing there smiling at me. It was rather creepy.
I had that happen with the what's his name, the alien guy. During one of the Liam scenes, they started creating copies of themselves. So there was like double Liams and double.
Oh yeah, what's his name? The purple guy.
The purple guy.
Not the Five Nights at Freddy's purple guy.
There were multiple purple butts in that one scene. It was really funny.
Oh man, it was the shirtless scene.
Yeah, it was one of the several shirtless scenes.
Oh no, don't tell me there's not more shirtless scenes.
So it's
by the way,
like...
go watch the if you haven't seen it yet, go watch Smosh Games, the Honest Game trailer for Mass Effect Andromeda. It's very funny.
Yeah, so the changes that are coming down in the long stream are also really good. They're going to add more hairs. They're going to add more character customization for the Scott and Sarah Ryder. They're going to add more stuff. Again, all of this stuff should have been in the game from the get-go. And by not having it in the game and by not polishing it up, I think it's hurt the brand significantly.
I think so. I mean, this is all anyone could talk about with respect to this game,
but there are heads that are rolling now. So that's the other thing, is that there now have been several confirmed high-end staff removals.
Yeah,
and they've parted ways with certain heads at that one studio. And it's important to note that if heads of departments leave before the DLC is done, that means that it was not on. It was not mutual. You don't mutually leave a project before it's done.
It's looking like, at least to their credit, they're learning from these mistakes.
Yes.
At least BioWare is. I hope EA is.
I have been playing a lot of the multiplayer, and honestly, the multiplayer has been. Again, I got my hands on the multiplayer early on, and it's very fun. I do want to see, and one of the things that we were kind of expecting was more and different modes other than just survival. We were expecting to see some things that I'm not quite allowed to talk about. And it's been alluded to in the patches that they're gonna try and incorporate more stuff. So hopefully the fans don't give up on it yet. Let's wait for a good patch, see how it does, see how it improves, and then keep their feet to the fire on this one, because they, especially with the DLC, I really think they should take their first major DLC, and I'm pretty sure they should put it out for free. I don't know very many people who are going to buy the additional DLCs with the game in its current state, and you're going to have to offer something pretty big and pretty cool to get people back into playing the game so that they can so that they can kind of like go, okay, I see it's improving. We can work with this. We can work with this. So that's hopefully what we'll see.
One of these is decrease the cost of remnant decryption keys and made them more accessible at merchants. We have a lot of viewers who are going to be happy about that.
Yeah.
So many. We did a guide on the remnant decryption game, which is essentially Sudoku.
Mm-hmm.
And
a lot of people didn't like it.
People
not
hate
the video.
this.
People hate the Sudoku thing. Yeah. I didn't use one key. I was kind of expecting to get an achievement for that, but screw you. It's kind of frustrating to do something cool and then to not get credit for it. It was like, okay, I bit my tongue, and it's really hard to speak right now. I bit my tongue really bad today. All right, so big Zelda patch came out. I was really happy about this. What do you think about it?
It's something that's been bugging me since the game came out, and so I'm so glad that they finally, it's been so long. It's like the game's been out for what, 30 years? Yeah,
30 years. And they finally fixed the double N in Peninsula.
So speaking of things coming out and needing to be fixed after the fact, they finally fixed a typo
in the original Zelda
for the original Nintendo Famicom consoles. And so this actually happened a couple of months ago. So the fix was in the NES Classic version. So there you go.
Pretty hilarious. I laughed good and hard when I saw that. Also because there was this big patch that just came out for Breath of the Wild. So This kind of reminds me of a thing that I remember reading about a couple of years ago, where there was a prisoner in for pretty heinous things. He's a multi serial killer, or not. He killed a lot of people. And he is all upset that he doesn't have better video games in prison. And I immediately jumped up and said, I know what to do. I want to get him a brand new console with day one unpatched No Man's Sky. Yeah. Just give that to him. And then what else? Batman Arkham Asylum, unpatched for the PC. Yeah, give him that. He should be able to get about no entertainment value out of either of those products.
Yeah, I'm thinking, cry me a river there, Sparky. I don't have good video games. You murdered 20 people. Shut the front up.
This guy murdered a lot more than that.
Holy crap. Well, you know what? You know what they should do, though? They really want to punish these guys. They should force them to quality test EA's products.
Yeah, that would make their stay a little bit more painful.
And speaking of older games and newer games and games that might have been, these neural networks that are a type of AI system? They're like a type of computer network that's sort of based on how the human brain works.
Yeah, and they intake vast amounts of data and come up with connections and
associations and things. They're able to process data in a really sophisticated way. I used one, actually we have a video of it, where it's an online game where you basically play Pictionary with this thing. You draw sketches and it tries to identify what you're drawing. It's really fascinating that this is possible now. Anyway, so somebody took a list of 146,000 game titles, which I guess somebody had put together trying to name every video game that had ever been created, and they fed it into a neural network that they then, asked it to come up with names for computer games.
Mm-hmm.
So they fed, 146,000 actual video game names into this system, and it spat out a list of certain games. And it also gave you the year it came out and the developer and what system it was for. And tell me you don't want to play some of these. Let's see here. Fire Gant Bandit. Metal Cat. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Mosh King. Eat Your Heart Out. Guitar Hero. Bow Down Before the Mosh King. The Jams Manager, which sounds like it's a spin-off of the Mosh King. Death of the Robot, 1988 Windows game from Smace Software. That sounds like someone sci-fi'd up like a Shakespeare play and turned it into a text adventure or something. Dolan's Power Pirater, Speed Wound, First Whack, Space Futures. Space Futures, the most generic sci-fi game ever. Space Futures, unless that's an investment game, in which case,
watch as your money goes up and then maintains a steady rate for a long period of time, and then drops a little bit, but not very much, and then goes back up just a little bit.
Oh man! And then this one, I don't even know how to say this. Xing Gelmore, the Time Spangler. What the hell is that?
That's hilarious.
King of the Grash, Splite Ball, The Shin Adventure.
Nice.
Strike Fighter House, definitely a Japanese title. What the heck? Bomber 3, Part Fighter. What's the rest of him?
Bomber 3, Part Fighter.
Part Fighter.
Dun, dun, dun.
Bunk 2, and then, of course, Golf.
Golf. Oh, that's a great name for a game. In fact, I think I played a game of golf recently. That's very fascinating.
Just wait.
No, I didn't. I'm lying. Wait, what?
Deep Golf.
Deep Golf.
You'll
Okay,
love this.
that one sounds interesting. That sounds like mini golf at the bottom of an ocean, which is actually a really brilliant idea for a game.
This one, you will love this one. Brain Robot Slam.
Brain Robot Slam.
And then, of course, the 2010 Capcom classic, King of Death 2, The Search of Dog Space.
Wow.
Babel Imperium, High Episode 2. Spork Demo, and then, of course, Spork Racers. Alien Pro Baseball. Yeah, baby. Jort, the Snorching. Battle for the Art of the Coast. Soccer Dragon. Mutant Tycoon.
Mutant Tycoon, that sounds like a Fallout game. I think that actually sounds really good.
Then, of course, PAL Defense. PAL spelt P-A-L. So I guess you're defending against the evil NTSC invaders.
Maybe.
Only video nerds are going to get that joke. And, of course, the 1989 classic Simulator.
Oh, really? Just Simulator?
Simulator. That's
the Simulator.
Just
Okay.
Simulator. Dance Castle. Spork Race, I said that one already. Galactic Family 3, A Tanky Crawl.
Like, who thinks of this stuff?
Oh, Dick of the King.
Oh, wow. Okay,
2000
that sounds like a great game. Oh, my goodness.
2007 from Activision. That's like the spiritual successor to the Leisure Suit Larry series or something.
Yeah.
Oh, Dawn the Manager. Move over, Job Simulator.
Hilarious.
Adventures of the Rock. Yeah, baby.
Oh, wait. The Rock's doing video games now?
You know what? I'd play a game. It doesn't matter what it is. I'd play any game where you're Dwayne Johnson. Literally. I would play...
Run around Hollywood, quickly make movies.
I've got it. Celebrities everywhere being invaded by alien parasites from outer space that invade their brains. And you are Dwayne Johnson walking around Hollywood punching out celebrities. Yes!
Okay, that might work.
Then there's the 2008 Sega game Christ. It's an arcade title.
Okay, interesting. So, wait a second. So did this thing put dates on it too?
Yeah.
Oh, dates and like
release year,
companies.
Developer, and publisher. Yep.
That's hilarious.
And like what system it's for. Oh, and this one, Total Thort Spirits. Yes, I said Thort. I would play that game just to find out what a Thort is, except I never owned a Sega Saturn, so I don't think that would work. Detective Rally, Ball Arm, and then, of course, Gowl Fantasy.
Gowl Fantasy.
Gowl. G-H-O-W-L.
You mean Ghoul Fantasy?
Maybe that's what it's supposed to be. I don't know.
Ghoul Fantasy sounds like a normal game. Gowl Fantasy sounds like, I'm so sorry. I have to tell you that you actually have the gowl.
You have the gowl.
we don't know if your immune system is going to kick in and fight it yet.
But it's okay. We are going to shrink Dwayne Johnson down to the size of a red blood cell, and he's going to punch the gowl in the face.
That's hilarious.
There, 2 amazing game ideas in the span of like 5 minutes. Dwayne Johnson is the only thing any game idea needs.
I heard that once before, but it was like Adam Sandler and movies. Maybe we should enter that one with a little bit more caution.
I'd watch a movie where Dwayne Johnson punches Adam Sandler. Does that exist? Is that a thing?
I don't know. Actually, I don't know. That would be a really good game, though.
All right. This has been Augmented Reality, and there are all the games that you never got to play. You know what? I bet if there's any artists in the audience, send us some cover art of what you think some of these what you think some of these games would be. Would love to see that.
Yeah, that would be brilliant.
Yeah, actually, if enough people do that, we'll make a video sharing them. All right, folks. Thanks so much for listening. This has been Augmented Reality. We'll talk to you next week. Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps us out a ton when you do that. Check out this video. It's one of our favorite things that we've done so far on our channel. And here's some more stuff you might like. See the description below for links to our mods on Nexus Mods.